Hello Taurus, Elsie here to do a reading for you. It's a peek into March. Let's take a look at an overview for March and see what might be coming up for you. Taurus, I do have the beginning, the middle, and the end here. We've got 3 decks. We're going to throw some tarot on it to see what's going down. Happy new moon to you right now. New moon in Pisces is today. Look, there's a lot of stuff coming up in March. There's going to be a lot of changes. We have a couple of eclipses. We have Mercury going retrograde in Aries. What could go wrong? Maybe some arguments or fights, maybe some heightened impulsiveness and intense communications, right? So there might be things moving about that you don't really like that move about, because I don't think that you're really signing off on any of this. When eclipses begin, just anything can happen. I'm just going to say, expect the unexpected and don't, try and be flexible. I'm going to say through March. If you want to know the details of all of that, please go see your favorite astrologer so they can tell you what's going on. We have look at the bigger picture. I don't know that you're going to have much of a choice but to look at the bigger picture, because there are going to be some changes, right? There are going to be, there's Mercury is going into retrograde in two signs, right? It's going to be starting on the 15th. It's going to be in Aries. It's going to move into Pisces after that on the 30th. So looking at the bigger picture is going to be really necessary. This says full moon in Sagittarius. We know that it's not a full moon that we're dealing with right now. We're dealing with a new moon. But I feel like there might be things that you're going to have to let go of. Full moons are always about conclusions, and that's what the eclipse energies are about. They're about things that end quickly, that you really don't have a choice over. We've got communication is key, new moon in Gemini, so I'm going to say that that's probably good, that communication is key, but please remember retrograde is happening in Aries, and so those could be intense conversations, good or bad, right? Could definitely be. All right, let's find out what's going on in the beginning, the middle of the month for Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. Tell me about Taurus. Tell me about Taurus. We've got putting in the work, Taurus. So it feels like there is something that might be coming up in the middle of the month that you're going to have to put all of your time and energy into. It says action that helps achieve goals. So do you have a goal on the table? Is there something you're working on right now? Because I feel like you will be very focused on that thing round about the middle of the month. It says building the path for success. So you're putting wheels in motion for something to the beginning of something, building a path toward your success. So you're putting in the hard work, I feel. We have acceptance, accept past and current situations, work through issues gracefully. So accepting, I would say, the things that you cannot change, right? There are going to be things, so instead of digging in your heels into the earth and saying, no, I'm not changing, I think you just need to accept what you can't change and accept that things are changing without your approval or sign off. That's what the eclipses are about, right? Quick change. Things can change in a moment's notice for the good. Maybe something, I think that possibly it's just that you don't like change, and maybe that might make you a little bit nervous about the eclipses, but a new door is opening, which is today. A new cycle is opening, and this is all good energy, looking at the bigger picture, putting in the work. We've got happiness. I kind of like it. So around about the end of the month, it feels like there is going to be, it feels like you're over the hump, I'm going to say. We've got card number 6, and it comes after the 5s, and the 5s are always about lack and feeling left out or things not working for you. So I think there's something here that you do accept. Maybe it's through communication with somebody. We do have, a karmic relationship. So maybe you're letting go of a karmic relationship. Maybe a karmic relationship will be eclipsed from your life. Look, we can have karmic relationships with friends, with lovers, people that we work with, right? Those are all karmic relationships. They're all designed to teach us something. And so it does feel like there is possibly the acceptance after communication that this is just not someone that I want in my life. Yeah, feels like that. Okay, let's look at tarot. See what's going on for Taurus. Tell me about looking at the bigger picture for Taurus, please. Why does Taurus have to look at the bigger picture? I think you're going to have to zoom out, Taurus. If you're too focused on one thing within a conversation or a situation, that might not give you all the information that you need. Full moon in Sagittarius is like taking action to end something, it feels like here. Tell me about this. Tell me about Taurus. We've got the 5 of Cups in the reverse. We've got the 8 of Swords. It feels like you're going to be letting go of something that you feel trapped in. It could be a situation or a relationship, a friendship, a job. It feels like you're going to be letting go of something. It feels like it's the best thing for you to do. The Sun is here and it feels like you've had a breakthrough. So I feel like the 5 of Cups being in the reverse is telling me I don't want to have regrets. I don't want to stay in this relationship where I'm unappreciated forever and then have regrets about it later. I feel like I'm trapped here. It also could be about employment, absolutely. A friendship, maybe something that you have agreed to that you shouldn't, that you maybe feel like you shouldn't have agreed to. It feels like the Sun is here that is going to give you all of the data. I feel like it's happy, I'm going to say. I feel like the 8 of Swords is here telling me you feel trapped, but this is a full moon. It says full moon in Sagittarius. We are dealing in a new moon right now. But when full moons show up, it's because there has been a release or something came to an end. So I feel like you're going to get out of this place of feeling like you're trapped somewhere and with no regrets. I feel like you're going to have no regrets from leaving or walking away. It could be possibly if we're dealing with a person, it could be away from a Leo, or maybe the Leo is the one that helps spread some sunshine on the situation so you can see that you should have never been there in the first place. Tell me more about Taurus, please. We have the 4 of Wands. We have the 2 of Wands in the reverse. And we have the Judgment card. You know, the 2 of Wands in the reverse and the Judgment card feels like eclipse energy to me, because this is like, I'm not planning anything. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to jump in head first. And it puts you on a different trajectory because you're ending something in order to begin something else. It feels like you're being called by the universe. It's like it's a feeling of, I just got to get the heck out of here. I got to get the heck out of Dodge. I feel like you know that it's something that could affect your stability with the 4 of Wands here, but I don't think you care. The 5 of Cups is in the reverse. It feels like you've put up with something long enough. And it feels like you see the window to be able to get out of this place where you feel imprisoned in the mind. I don't think you're imprisoned physically. It feels like it's the mind. And then when the Sun shows up and puts the spotlight on it, I feel like you make a really quick decision. It feels like eclipse energy. You make a really quick decision to just move along. I need a different trajectory. The Judgment card is here. It's like I need to lay something to rest and carry on with my life, is what it feels like here. And I don't think you're going to have any regrets. I feel like you're like, you know what, I got enough money in the bank. Or if you don't have enough money in the bank, I think like you leave a job and then you get one immediately, or you leave one to go to another. It possibly could be a relationship as well. Maybe you've just had enough. Tell me more about Taurus. We do have the 7 of Pentacles. So it feels like, you know what it feels like, Taurus? It feels like you've had enough. It feels like you've put enough work in, because the 7 of Pentacles is about waiting. It's also about throwing seeds of intention and then doing a lot of nurturing. And this is a lot of hard work. So I feel like you've put a lot of hard work into something. And I don't think that you've gotten much out of it. It feels like all it does is make you feel more and more trapped. And I feel it's almost like you're, you know, when you're in the office during the day in the summer and it's beautiful outside and you would just rather be outside. It feels like one day you go into the office and the next day you're like, you know what, I'm out. I'm done with this crap. If it's a relationship, I feel like somebody's been feeling trapped in a relationship, but I feel like it's time. It's like, I have no regrets of the time that we spent together in the 4 of Wands, because it was a happy, stable time when it was. But I feel like it feels like eclipse energy to me, Judgment and the 2 of Wands in the reverse. It feels like I'm not waiting anymore. I'm not putting any more work into this. It's like you've put enough work in here and you're not getting anything out of it. It feels like it was just too much to have little gain. Yeah. So it feels like that you will be making a decision. It's not that anything will end in the first week of March, but I mean, it could for some of you, but I feel like you're at least thinking, you know what? I've put in the work here. I've put in enough work and I want to achieve my own goals. I'm tired of working for somebody who is benefiting off of the work that I do for them. It's time to work for me. We do have the Death card. I was just saying, I do really feel like you're like at your wit's end. You're like, I've put in enough work here. I don't know why I'm bothering. I don't know why I'm bothering with this. You now are building a path to success. I feel like there's transformation coming up in the middle of the month. Look, it's eclipse, right? Between the 13th and the 14th, depending where you live in the world. world, there is a full lunar eclipse coming up. And so that is a full moon, and that is things that are leaving your life. So whether you make the decision and the universe helps you move it aside, I feel like you're on to bigger and better things. The Nine of Cups tells me your arms are open to whatever shows up next. And maybe you do have a plan. Maybe you have made some goals. Maybe you have been building a path to success while you've been, in this place where you felt kind of trapped. Tell me more about this. We've got the Two of Swords. So I think that you're being given the opportunity to make some sort of blind decision. I want to say you're being given an opportunity to go, and it's like immediate. You make the decision to go this way or that way. You can either stay there and you can stay behind the Eight of Swords, or you can make a decision to move forward into the future. 8 and 2, by the way, is 10. It is a release either way. I don't think that you'll be hanging around the situation that makes you feel trapped, whether that's a friendship, a boss, a place of work, or a relationship. I feel like it's kind of inevitable with the energies that are, we've got karmic relationships, right? So I feel like the karmic relationship is coming to an end. Whether that's a relationship with your work, your boss, platonic, romantic. Tell me more. We've got the Seven of Cups. Yeah, it does feel like confusion. It feels like I'm not really sure what to do. I want to be happy, but I'm not really sure if this is going to end up in the Five of Cups or not. It feels like for some of you, it could be a decision about love. She is holding 2 cups and looking at the 5. It feels like somebody here is making a decision to end a relationship with a workplace, an employer, or a friend. We do have the Strength card here. I feel like you held back long enough. I don't think that you want to hold back anymore, and I feel like this eclipse energy is going to help you. It's going to help you back out of some relationship with whomever it is cordially. It feels like with the King of Cups is not one that is going to go out in a blaze of glory. This is the one who is going to just slowly back away and is emotionally intelligent enough to do it. Just going to keep it all under the surface. I'm not even. I'm just going to call on Monday and say, I won't be in ever. Or I'm just going to back away from the relationship and let that person come for me. And if they don't, then I'm just not going to say anything. It feels like the King of Cups is dealing with it very differently than the King of Wands, right? It feels like that this here holding back is how you're going to starve whatever cancer is in your life. It feels like you're pulling back the energy, you're not feeding it anymore, and it feels like you are sort of pulling back or going under the surface, I want to say. So I feel like something is ending for you around mid-month, but it feels like maybe you didn't plan for it to end this soon. Maybe you wanted an exit plan, but I feel like you get to a point where you're like, you know what, I've put enough work into this. Yeah, it's time for me to back away. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. And so it does feel like you are, I feel like you are stable though. I want to say that whatever you do it in a very stable way. So I feel like you're prepared to do it. You probably have enough money in the bank. And if you don't, I feel like you know that there's a place where you can go to get the job the next day. Or I feel like you're like, you know what? You go out of this, whatever it is that's coming to an end, Taurus, and it could be multiple things. I feel like you have learned a lesson of just backing out of it quietly. I think that's what's going on here, because I think that ultimately your happiness is paramount to you. I think you're just accepting situations instead of fighting against them, instead of putting your feet in the ground and saying, no, this can't happen. Instead of stopping it, I feel like you're just going with the flow. I feel like you're just letting things be as they will. You know, when people are telling you that, you know, the sky is black or the sky is orange, you're like, okay, sure. Yeah, that's cool. I feel like communication's key and acceptance that karmic things end. Lessons are learned, and then it's time for us to move on. Tell me about happiness. We've got the 8 of Pentacles. It's because of all the work that you've done on yourself up to here. It's the love of self, I feel, that makes you happy. We've got the 6 of Pentacles. It does feel like there is... I want to say that it's the love of self. It's giving to you and realizing that when you are fighting against something, Like when people are trying to leave your life or a situation is trying to go and you fight against it, that's where the stress and the angst begins. And so I feel like you are maybe leaving this situation, and then what you do is you start taking care of yourself. Instead of giving it to other people, you're giving it to the self. And what I think you're giving to you is the Two of Cups. I feel like what this Eight of Pentacles tells me, you immediately go into self-care. You immediately go into self-mastery. I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to stretch my body. I'm going to have a shower. I'm going to buy that steak and make a beautiful dinner for me. It feels like what you're doing is you're cultivating happiness for yourself. It really does feel like peace. It feels like that there is peace here that is to be had. Oh, forgiveness. I feel like it's peace because you've forgiven the situation by accepting it. You're like, you know what? It couldn't be any other way. I'm just going to let it be the way it is instead of fighting against it. Tell me more. We have the Five of Wands. Oh, the Wheel of Fortune is here. And we have the Three of Swords. Look, I feel like, yes, you're going to be disappointed because it didn't work out the way you wanted it to. But ultimately, I think it is your decision to end the things that do not serve you, Taurus. It feels like, yes, it could be disappointing. I feel like you were in this Five of Wands energy, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have let it go. But I want to say that the Wheel of Fortune is telling me that if it's yours, it's going to come back anyway. Right? There's nothing you have to worry about because the Wheel of Fortune is always working in your favor. And it's, the Wheel of Fortune is all about change. It's a turning point in your life. I feel like you've learned some sort of massive lesson over the month of March about things that come and go. And that as they come and go, you should let them come and go. It's if somebody threatens you, I'm not going to be around then. If you're not going to listen to me, then you're like, yeah, that's cool. Do that thing then. I'll be over here. One more card. And we have the Nine of Swords. So I feel like it is a little bit of angst. It is a little bit of worry. Should I have done that? I feel like you're in this energy of change, and change is worrisome for someone who doesn't sign off on the change. I feel like you didn't plan this change. I feel like the eclipses, I feel like all the energies that are, this energy of heightened impulsiveness, this feels like an eclipse or impulsive decisions that you're making here. And I feel like they were necessary. And I feel like ultimately it ends up in happiness and you taking better care of yourself. But I do feel like at the end of the month, you're like, oh, these changes. I'm having a hard time accepting the changes. I think that you will, but I don't think that you accept change readily or easily. We've got the King of Pentacles in the reverse. Why is that? Because the Knight of Wands is in the reverse, and then we have Justice. So it feels like everything really slows down to a crawl for a moment. Your finances, how you're moving. I feel like you're not moving very much. This might mean that you're taking better care of yourself, not spending money, looking over the self. This is maybe a self-audit, this King of Pentacles in the reverse. But the Knight of Wands in the reverse is telling me you stop making impulsive decisions, and that's what gives you balance at the end of the month. I'm just going to, I feel like I should be giving you a little bit more energy, so I'm just going to go here to the Lenormand. Give me more energy for Taurus, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the month of March. We have the Woman. This is card number 11. Somebody who's waiting for love, waiting for communication. What else do we have here? It's the Ace of Swords here. We do have the card number 5, which is the Tree of Life. It feels like in the month of March, you are finding your footing, finding your roots, laying down roots, possibly. The Seven of Hearts is the Seven of Cups. It feels like you have a lot of opportunities now coming in. You know what it feels like? It feels like this energy here removed a block. Some sort of block for you, Taurus, that allows an influx of money, allows an influx of you being stable and grounded and rooted is what it feels like here. It feels like there is a lot of opportunity that's showing up for you here in the month of March. It could be pentacles, right? We've got 10 pentacles on that tree. It could be family related. Maybe you hear about someone who's getting married. Maybe you're settling roots. Maybe you're saying yes to somebody. Yes, I'll be your girlfriend, your boyfriend. Yes, I will go out with you. Yes, I'll only date you. We do have the sarcophagus here. We have the 9 of Pentacles in the bottom right hand corner. Now this is sort of significant here because I feel like, this is the end of something, right? They used to bury their dead in the sarcophagus and put them in the temples or in the pyramids, right? And so it feels like with card number 8 here, it feels like you come to this place of stability and confidence. You're like, even though things are ending and changing and moving, I feel like you feel really confident in all of the changes that are happening here. Throughout this, I feel like you have confidence that I'm going to gain my ground, I'm going to plant my roots, and it feels like you have a certain confidence about the end here. We do have card number 16. Now, card number 16 is the star, but it also is card number 16, which is the tower. I feel like, in the tarot, 16 is the tower, 17 is the star, and so they're both on one card. We have the 6 of Cups here. Taurus, I feel like in the month of March, it feels like you get communication from a soulmate. Somebody who, I don't know if it's a past soulmate or maybe it could be a new soulmate because we do have the end of something here. So it feels like the end of something does make room for something new. And then we have happiness at the end of the month. I feel like there is something coming in love for you also in the month of March sometime, but it's only if something significant is ending for you. If you're not willing to make the changes, I don't feel that anything new shows up. I feel like there is a tower, a realization, and some healing that is coming with some sort of new beginning, and it might be with a soulmate. Bottom of the deck, there they are. Look at this, the bookends. We got the woman and the man, right? So we've got somebody here who is having a new beginning. They have the Ace of Cups. This one is card number 29, which is an 11. It has the Ace of Swords in the bottom right hand corner. Conversation about the beginning of love, and there's a tower and an ending in the middle, and it seems like there is going to be some sort of laying down of roots, starting a family or being with someone that is really solid, I want to say. I'm going to leave that there. I hope that is something that made sense to you, Taurus, and I hope all of this for you. Have a beautiful March. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back, of course, because I'm always back. You guys take care. Bye-bye.